Hello everyone, my name is Saksham Dikshit and this is my channel Pen Test Diaries. So today I'll make another video in the same series of Solidity programming language, and in this I'll try to cover one of the important concept which we have covered in previous videos also, but I just want to take it separately and make you understand why we required that. So we are talking about the constructor today. Okay, so what exactly the constructor is, why we required it in a smart contract, everything I'll try to get it explained in this video. So we'll start with the theory part and then we'll go to the practical section for it. Okay, so let me start with that. So at the time when the smart contract is executed, constructor is the first one to be get it executed. So if we have the constructor in a smart contract, in that case constructor is the first thing to be get it executed once the smart contract get executed. That is the statement for it. In a one smart contract we can use only one constructor. We can't use more constructor, only one constructor. Work of constructor to initialize the state variable or set the owner for the contract. Okay, that's also understood with you. Now a constructor is a special function that is executed only once a smart contract is deployed to the Ethereum blockchain. It is used to initialize the state variable and perform any necessary setup for the contract. The constructor has the same name as the contract and does not have a return type. Okay, there is nothing like a return type we are talking about in case of constructor, so we don't have any return type. If you're talking about the other sections for it, so there are few other things. I'll just go to the practical section also so that you can able to understand what we are talking about right now. So it's a straightforward simple concept related to the constructor. So the constructor is executed only once during the deployment of the contract, and its purpose is to set up the initial state of the contract. After deployment, the state variable can be modified through other functions defined in the contract. So at the time when we are executing the smart contract, the value and the value of the state variable to be get it set by the constructor only, but later phases when it's get it run, so the thing is that the functions can utilize that to get it modify the value of it, like setter or getter. Setter function you can utilize just to get it modify the value of the state variable. It's a later phase itself, but in the initial phase constructor is the only function which is run by default with that smart contract. Now there are few other points also. Executed only once, so as per the understanding it's once only executed first. So the other thing is that, like, once your smart contract get executed, the constructor will be run automatically once only. Okay, you can create only one constructor and it's optional. Okay, if you want to create it, or if you don't want to create, that's also your option itself. It doesn't like it's compulsory. It's nothing like compulsory concept like we have to create the constructor in our smart contract. No, nothing like that. And the last statement is a default constructor is created by a compiler if there is no defined constructor. Okay, I'll repeat the statement once again. A default constructor is created by the compiler if there is no constructor over there. So like if you're not creating any constructor, by default by the compiler will create the constructor for you itself in a code. Okay, so now we'll go to the practical section for it so that we'll able to understand what actually we are discussing right now, and by that way it's a bit clear to you. Okay, so now this is the code for it. I'll break the code in 3 parts. So initially I'll just show you these 2 sections, and then after that I'll just uncomment these sections for it. Okay, so if we're talking about the code of it, so the code is starting with this itself. This is a straightforward syntax which I have already explained you. This is the name of the contract. Now this is a state variable which we have defined it over here with the name as count. Now this is the constructor which I have created already, which is not doing anything. The values get it defined for the state variable is 0. So when the program get executed, automatically if I'll click on it, like let me compile it and let me deploy it for you. If I'll show it over here itself, so by default I am seeing a 0 value over here itself. Okay, so the reason is that there is nothing like an input I can give it over here itself, as the thing is that it's taking as it is. So whatever the value we have defined inside of the constructor, it's automatically get assigned to the count. Okay, so that's a purpose, one purpose of the constructor. If I'll go further with that and try to comment this, and try to uncomment this section where we are giving the input from our side. Okay, now if I'll try to compile the same code once again, it's working. Let me delete this section and let me deploy it. Okay, so deployment is not working over there, but as it's required the value from our side. Okay, so let me pass any value. Taking example 100. If I'll pass 100 and click on this section, it's deployed. Our contract is deployed, and now click on count. You can see 100 value. So whatever the value we are passing over here itself, it's get it reflected back, and you can able to, when you click on the count, you can able to see the actual count which we have put it as a value from our side. So that's another functionality of the constructor, where we can modify the value of the constructor also of the state variable. Now I'll move to the last part of it. This is the code which, let me uncomment it. Okay, so let me see if it's compiled well. Yeah, perfect. So before proceeding further, you can see these are the three state variable which we have defined over here itself. Okay, one is a unsigned integer, one is a address, and one is a string. Okay, now we go to the constructor where we are passing first, which we can see over here itself as a name that we call it as a string. Then we are passing as a age, and then we passing as a address. Okay, so these are the thing. As in case of string, we have to use the memory keyword, so that was the reason we have used memory keyword over here itself. Same value which we are input, we'll try to get it passed, assign it to the name, age, and owner, and when we are calling those sections for it, we can able to see the same value. I'll show you that what I'm talking about. So it's compiled. Let me go to this section. Let me delete this, and over here itself, now we have to give the value. So taking example, I'll give it a name as John. Now the age will be 21, and the address I'll take it from the top. Any address I'll take it from the top. I'll put it over here itself. So you can see these three entries I'm putting it from, giving it from my side. John as a name, age 21, and the address I'm giving it from my side. Click on the deploy and go to the deployed section contract, and when I click on the age is defined as 21, name is defined as John, and the owner address which we have defined it over there itself, that's get it assigned over there itself. So basically this is the actual purpose of the constructor, why we required the constructor for it, and what's the purpose of it. Everything I'll try to get it explained in this video so far. And if you have any doubt in this, please let me know in the comment section of this video itself. So that's all about the stuff which I want to get it covered. Thank you so much once again. If you like this video, please subscribe my channel. Thank you so much once again. Take care. Bye bye.